Hey everybody, Travis Clater back with another strategic thought for the day. So I was reading a story this morning that was super intriguing, and I'll link to it in the blog post. But basically, some of the world's top tourism destinations are having a debate over how much of a destination they really want to be. Now, more specifically, they're discussing what kind of tourism they want moving forward, and this pretty much blew my mind. I mean, think about it. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic with uncertainty running rampant out there. Many businesses worldwide are struggling for their survival. Many industries, like mine, are trying to figure out how they make it through this crisis, and that includes the travel and tourism industry. Having spent just a few years as part of the travel and tourism industry, I follow it kind of closely. Much of the industry is trying to figure out how they recover and bring as much tourism to their destination as possible. That's always been the approach, right? It's broad appeal and bringing the world to your doorstep as often as possible. Everyone is welcome in all the time. That is the goal working in the travel and tourism industry. Keep hotels full, keep restaurants full, bring as many people into your city or your destination as you can. And now, as we see hope on the horizon from this pandemic, cities, states, and countries are getting picky about who they want visiting their destination, and even what amenities or things they can offer to those visitors, or they want to make available to those visitors when they do visit. The article calls out that in Amsterdam, the mayor wants to ban cannabis sales to tourists. Apparently, in Hawaii, local sentiment toward visitors is at an all-time low, and cruise ports from apparently the Caribbean all the way to Alaska, residents are pushing back to ban large ships. So while my mind was a bit blown at this, the more I thought about it, the less surprising it kind of got. The travel industry has been kind of going this way for years, customized experiences for audiences to create meaningful connections with visitors, with the idea being that those visitors with the meaningful connections would be more inclined to visit the place that they love over and over and over. So, not a bad concept, really. And then I started thinking, how much different is this really from that? It's the same concept, just kind of focused on the residents and the stakeholders within those destinations and deciding what kind of experiences they want to provide visitors to their homes or who they want to cater to. Now, as a quick aside, the crisis side in my mind and in my brain started to wonder how quickly these destinations will see backlash. I mean, the idea that some tourists aren't welcome in destinations, that can pretty much turn into a catastrophe if you're not careful, and it wouldn't be good for their brands. But time will tell, and we'll see how they roll out, some of these new experiences or some of these new efforts. But more importantly, I think, and this is the strategic thought part of this, it's a lesson that I think everyone can learn from out there. So if you look, there's no shortage of books and guides out there talking about operating from a place of abundance. Part of this mindset is the idea that we don't need to think about how scarce things are, but instead focus on what we have and what we truly need or what we want to be or what we want to turn our organizations into or what we want to achieve. We can all look at this idea of, and this, as the article describes it, over tourism. We can look at this over tourism idea, combine it with that abundance mindset, and apply it to our own lives. As a small business owner, it's easy for me to get caught up in trying to bring in as many clients as possible. Brands can easily get caught up in trying to reach every single potential customer out there instead of focusing on the ones that can really drive their business forward. And even socially, getting down into the tactics, even social media teams can get caught up in pumping out as much content as possible, but to what end and why? Things have certainly slowed down a lot for a lot of industries out there. But it looks like, and certainly for the travel and tourism industry, but it looks like some within that industry are using this as an opportunity to take a step back and recalibrate and figure out what they want coming out of this. And again, that's an opportunity for all of us to do the same thing. So if they can do it, perhaps others in other industries should do the same thing. So, anyway, there's your strategic thought for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out tcstrategic.com for more blog posts, and we'll see you back here again soon.